Hello everyone, it's Robin here, and judging by my mug here, you can tell my life is perfect right now. Yes, just picked this baby up from Hobby Lobby and have been enjoying it on a daily basis ever since. But today, we're also going to talk about something I enjoy. We're going to talk about my Book of the Month subscription because I'm pretty jazzed about this box. This is my October box and it is full, let me tell you. So Book of the Month is a monthly subscription service that gives you the opportunity to get your hands on some really great hardcover books. Some are pre-releases, some are newly released. There may be some debut authors and some favorite authors. I have a little bit of a mixture going on here, and I'm excited to get into this box. But before I do, I want to share with you this book that I picked up in my September Book of the Month box. And I didn't share it yet, so I thought I would now, but check out this cover. It is Other Birds by Sarah Addison Allen, and it is gorgeous. Just look at those colors with those vibrant turquoise blue birds and this deep, deep teal peacocky color with this kind of orange going on. I love this. So we have on the spine here, we have the Book of the Month logo, and then we have here on the back. Yeah, this book is gorgeous. And it sounds like a good read too. So this book follows Zoe Hennessy. So let me just read just the very beginning portion. Down in the narrow valley in a small coastal town of Mallow Island, South Carolina, lies a stunning cobblestone building containing or comprising of 5 apartments. And it's called Della Wisp, and it's named after the tiny turquoise birds who, alongside the human tenants, inhabit an air of magical secrecy. So here we have the birds here. So Zoe Hennessy moves into this building. She goes to claim her grandmother's apartment, who has passed away, or it's her mother's apartment, I'm sorry. And she meets her quirky neighbors that include a girl on the run, a grieving chef, 2 estranged middle-aged sisters, and 3 ghosts, each with their own story, each with their own longings, and each whose ending hasn't yet been written. So of course, Zoe moves into this building, and on that same night, there's a death in the building. So mystery is now afoot. So this sounds like an interesting read, and I just love, 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 love the colors of this. So this was my September pick for Book of the Month, and yeah, we will get to it. We will get to it. But now I want to share with you what I picked up in October. So Book of the Month, while it's a monthly subscription, you get options to get some great books. When you choose one of the books for the month, you get to add up to two add-ons. And the size of this box, yes, I added 2 add-ons this month. And the prices are really good for the add-ons because the hardcover books add-ons are only like $9.99, so great deal. So you open it up and it says, "You've got great taste," and you can see the cover of my Book of the Month pick. It's called Hester. Let's check it out because this is an awesome looking cover too. So this is a novel by Lori Lico Albanese, and just look at that. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. Check it out. Look at those florals in there with that deep black background. Love this. Here we have the spine of the book, as well as the back of the book too. So excited about this. So Hester takes place, at least it begins, in the early 1800s. And it's about Isabel, who's a young seamstress, and her husband Edward. They set sail from Scotland to come to the New World. Now, as I said, Isabel is a young seamstress. Nathaniel is an apothecary, but Nathaniel has been apothecaring too much with the opium, if you get what I'm saying. And when we get to the New World here, he immediately jumps on another ship as their medic and leaves Isabel basically stranded and penniless and trying to figure out what to do in this new world. So Isabel has some family secrets of her own, which of course we don't know about yet, thus the word secrets. And enter Nathaniel, who has his own family secrets going on. He is here in the New World, and his family has history with those Salem witch trials. So you see where all this could be going, right? So those two have some great chemistry together, but you know, Edward's supposed to return, but does he? We don't even know. Is he coming back? Is he not coming back? What's Isabel's secret going on? And what's Nathaniel's family have to do with these witch trials? Well, I think in Hester, we're gonna find out. So this is another historical fiction that sounds really interesting about that time period. You start to learn about the New England Underground Railroad situation, about immigrants and things like that. And I just got off of reading The Four Winds from Kristen Hanna and fell in love with that historical fiction. And this sounds like it could be very interesting as well. So I'm very excited to read this book. Oh my gosh. And the cover is really cool too. Speaking of Kristen Hanna, I just mentioned that I got off of reading The Four Winds by Kristen Hanna, one of my all-time favorite books ever. I absolutely love this book. And Book of the Month had some Kristen Hanna books. Yes. In fact, they had these two and I picked them both up. So I have The Great Alone. Oh my gosh, look at this book. And this book that I've been wanting to read, The Nightingale. Check these out. So I fell in love with Kristen Hanna and by reading The Four Winds so much that I wanted more historical fiction in my future from Kristen Hanna. So here we have them. Let me show you the covers up close and then we'll talk about each book. Here's The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. And, this cover's really cool. Look how the road just kind of goes off into a vanishing point. Love that. Here's the spine of this book, as well as the back. It says here this was from February 2018 from Book of the Month. So you can get some books on Book of the Month that have been there for a bit of a time. So I'm excited about this one. Let me show you this other cover and then we'll talk about both books. This one's gorgeous too, very reminiscent of the coloring of the first book that I showed you. And this is The Nightingale. So we have just this gorgeous, gorgeous cover. You can see the Eiffel Tower here. So this one's taking place in France. And here's the spine. And then here's the back of this as well. Yes. So I'm excited for both of these books because I absolutely loved The Four Winds. And I think I'll love these too. They're both historical fiction. And this one is The Great Alone. This one takes place in the 70s, 1974 in Alaska. And it's about Ernst Albright, and he's a former POW. He comes back from the Vietnam War, and he comes home to his wife Cora and his daughter Lenny. And he is a changed man, as you know what happened, during that whole war. They come back, he's just a changed man and decides to take his family and move them to this remote place in Alaska, which is as remote as it is, one of the last frontiers. And the story just goes on about their family dynamic. Lenny, the daughter, 13, is coming of age in a very secluded place and just learning how to become her own. Cora, the wife, loves him deeply and will go anywhere he says, but he has some mental breaks and problems that happened because of being in that war, and it becomes about survival here in Alaska. And I think this book just sounds amazing. I think it just really gives a great view of a family dynamic and the repercussions of what happened during that war. It's kind of a beefy book for sure. I think these Kristen Hanna books are. It's 440 pages long. So let me just look at the jacket for a little bit. Ernst Albright, a former POW, comes home from the Vietnam War, a changed and volatile man. He loses yet another job and makes an impulsive decision to move his family north to Alaska, where they will live off the grid in America's last true frontier. And it goes down to the bottom in this unforgettable portrait of human frailty and resilience. Kristen Hanna reveals the indomitable character of a modern American pioneer and the spirit of a vanishing Alaska in a place of incomparable beauty and danger. Yes, I can see both sides of it. So this should be really interesting because it'll have that time period and that war element, but it also has this whole survival element with Alaska and living in a small cabin. And I think it's just very interesting. And, following a man and a woman who truly love each other. least that's the gist I was getting from this book. Next we have the Nightingale. So we leave America, we leave Alaska, and now we're in France. And this is in the 30s, like 1939, and it was when Germany invaded France. So it's World War II. And it's the story of two sisters who are very different and go different paths during this whole war-torn situation. So Vianne, the sister, I think it's Vianne, I think that's how you say it. Vianne has to say goodbye to her husband Antoine as he goes off to the front. And her sister Isabel is 18 and she's a rebellious thing, but Germany does invade and invades their home, takes over their home. So they have to come to grips with what are they going to do? Are they going to live with the enemy or lose absolutely everything? So I think Vianne has a young daughter too. So this could be very interesting. It says, in love, we find out who we want to be, and in war, we find out who we are. So it's another story of strength in women. And I think these stories are just amazing. And of a time period, it kind of humanizes the time period for me. I mean, you read it in the history books and that type of thing, but when you read stories like this, it humanizes it, and I really do appreciate that for sure. So in a quiet village of Carriveau, Vianne Mauriac says goodbye to her husband Antoine as he heads for the front, and she doesn't believe that the Nazis will invade France, but invade they do in droves, in marching soldiers, caravans of trucks and tanks, in planes that fills the skies and drop bombs upon the innocent. And when a German captain requisitions Vianne's home, she and her daughter must live with the enemy or lose everything. So that's what this is going to be on, and I'm pretty amazed by this too. This is also another 440 pages, and I think I'm just excited about this. I don't know which one I want to read first. So when I read The Four Winds, took place in the 30s also here in America around the Dust Bowl. It started I think that book started in the late 20s and went into early mid 30s. And then this one's the 30s too. So it's an interesting time period of two very different places and very different situations going on. And then of course this one's in the 70s, so that's a bit different. So here are the 4 books that I picked up from Book of the Month in September and October, and I'm pretty excited about this stack. I have 3 historical fictions and 1 fun little mystery that's very reminiscent of, if you've seen the show Only Murders in the Building, sounds like it might be like that. I hope so, because I love that show and you should watch it for sure. So I'm not sure which one I'm going to get to first, but I'm really excited about all these historical fictions that I'm getting into. Is there an author that you've come across that you're just devouring right now? Who's your favorite author? I would love to hear about that. Let me know in the comments below, and let me know what you're reading, because I'd love to hear about that too. Oh my gosh, thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you have a magical day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! Oh, let's get some more of this pumpkin spice. Delicious.